If water finds its own level, why doesn't the horizon appear level? I took this picture myself in the Magdalena Mountains.
You're ignoring the law's perspective, Dave. Things farther away get smaller.
Yeah, but this mountain is just as high and it's lower, and the horizon, on a flat earth, the horizon would be true level, and it's not. The horizon does not meet level.
Because things get smaller in appearance the farther they get.
Okay, here's a big problem.
Yeah, you want to ignore that, don't you? I can't believe you brought that.
This is the same thing. I'm just trying to get through. We've only got 20 minutes left.
You've already been through.
Okay, Socorro Mountain. When I'm standing on Socorro Peak, looking at Sandia Crest, which is 84 miles.
It's called apparent size. The apparent size gets smaller. Therefore, it's going to be under there because it's going to get smaller and smaller the farther we get back.
No, this is true level. You're the one saying water defines true level. I'm using
100
that.
miles from you. That's going to be smaller than.
It's smaller, but it shouldn't be lower. Smaller, but not lower. It should be on the same level. In fact, I should be looking up at the Sandia Crest, which is over half a mile above my head. You're ignoring this picture right here, which shows because Sandia Crest is on a curved earth, it appears lower.
You're ignoring things get smaller the farther they are from you.
It's not a smaller issue. You can see the Sandias. They're not too small to see. They are below true level. That's your problem. Let's move on. Okay, Lake Pontchartrain.
Oh my God,
it's on my bucket.
Oh, Salmon's thing. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? If that is a curvature Earth, how big would Earth be?
8,000 miles wide.
You tell me that curvature is only 8,000? Come on. That is sounding, golly.
This is a real picture. These are power lines. They're all the same height.
No, it's not. That's like
and on a flat Earth, they should just proceed like train tracks.
All the perspective. And the end there, see, you won't even let me. I smash all this stuff, Dave.
Okay, it's really curved. Sorry. Okay.
No, it's not curved. If that was the curvature, Dave.
See this ship? Look at it. It's going down. Oh, it's sinking. Who heard about this horrible accident at sea where thousands were lost? I didn't hear about it. This is not perspective.
Yes, it is.
The reason that you can't see this ship in this picture is the ocean is between you and the ship.
That bottom one is totally fake.
It's not. These are pictures my friend took. Real pictures. I'm sorry. People can cherry pick and come up with videos that they put on YouTube that are bullshit. I'm sorry. This is a real picture. I know the guy that took it. People have seen this.
I got a question. So make sure. So you're saying that the photograph on the very bottom. Let me finish. You're saying, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that the difference between the photograph in the top left and the one in the bottom is that the person who took the camera actually got higher or lower?
Something changed. Something changed. They were in the same spot right there. No, they're definitely not. They were not in the same spot.
These pictures are taken at different elevations, but it's still evident that the ocean is what's blocking the bottom of the boat.
There is no refraction or as we call it, compression. As you see the boat right there, you can see the compression on the bottom of the boat. And what will happen, the farther it gets away, all that will get blurry and it will get compressed.
This boat is too big for that to be a problem. This is not a refraction thing.
Yes, there's a refraction on that boat. I can see it. It's not clear. It's all blurry in there. You can see the refraction.
Blurry is not refraction.
Yeah, this is not. The reason we can't see the boat, the bottom of the boat, is not refraction. I'm sorry, it's not.
What do you want to call it? Compression? What do you want to call it?
The Earth is in the way.
It's not the curvature.
Okay. I've only got a couple left, and I know we have some general comments we want to get to.
You get somebody here and then you fucking bamboozle them, then you swipe them with all this shit to make them
an hour to...
You told, and we didn't interrupt you during your time.
I'm going to present this, I'm going to present this, and I'm going to present this. Now I have you just come here and talk about the reason why I became a fighter. And then
trying to respond to
so-called evidence.
Some of the points. You've made some interesting points trying to respond to them.
Nobody can be.
Okay, 1947, Roswell incident. We got some V2s from the Nazis, and we took out the warheads and we put in cameras and got some pictures of the round Earth. This is before CGI.
How long did it take you to trim those out to make the perfect sphere?
This is just a historical picture from 100 miles in
You
space.
had to trim those up pretty quick, didn't you?
I didn't trim them. This is history. I'm sorry. So CGI in 1968. This is the kind of pictures we were getting from space, and so CGI, right?
That is not fact. Scientific fact. Observable, repeatable. How many civilians been to space, Dave? You cannot use anything from friggin' NASA as proof in science. That's not scientific fact. It has to be observable and repeatable. That is science. Not showing me some picture saying, oh, well, here you go.
You told me there was no cameras out there taking pictures of the Earth. The Japanese have satellites that take daily pictures. They use it to track their big typhoons. We got the Discover satellite. These satellites are there. You can deny them all you want, but they exist. This is 1968.
They're in your mind, they exist. You can't prove they exist.
And this is CGI. This is what CGI looked like in 1968. These brilliant scientists actually got that cat to walk across the screen. That was the state of the art of CGI when this picture on the left was taken. It's a real picture. Sorry.
You think the government...
Okay, here's a good question.
They're 50 years more advanced than what the freaking...
This is an experiment you can do yourself. At sunset, if the sun was 93 million miles off, then sunlight would be blocked by the round Earth, and it could be sunset. It could be dark here on the Earth, but these clouds high above you, say in the upper troposphere, these clouds could be in sunlight even when you in mountains are in shadow. This is a picture of sunset.
I don't see how that don't make any sense on the flat Earth. I don't see how that can't be done on a flat Earth.
Oh, well, I'm going to show you how it works on it. This is how it works on a round Earth. You can be in sunset and clouds to your west, farther away. Let me finish, please. Clouds farther away from you, farther than the sun, are in brilliant sunlight. And you are in total darkness. You are in nighttime. Okay? That's how it works on a round Earth. Here's how it works on a flat Earth. The sun is local. It's only 3,000 miles high. It's only a few thousand miles away. And the sun would shine on you, on the mountains, and on the clouds. So what's to block when you have this situation? What is blocking the sunlight?
It looks like it's lit up right there. What do you mean?
It is lit up. It should be lit up. Now here's the real picture. My friend Jose took this one, and I took this one myself. And in San Antonio, these clouds are to the west of me.
So you're telling me sunlight is always parallel? You're telling me sun rays come...
I'm telling you, sunlight is hitting the top of these clouds because they're above the limb of the Earth.
Answer the question I asked you, Rick, and you answered. Are the sun rays always parallel? That's what your diagram shows. Are the sun rays always parallel?
Pretty much, except for refraction, but that's not a big effect here. This is not a refraction thing.
Exactly my point. You wanted Eve, duck, dodge, just like every scientific person. You answer a simple question. Are the rays of the sun always parallel?
Pretty much.
Well, what is pretty much?
Except for refraction, but the refraction is not a factor. So I'll say, not counting refraction, yes, they're parallel.
Would you like to answer that one?
Dave?
So what?
Dave?
The sun is 93 million miles
There
away.
is divergence if it's only 3,000 miles away.
All right, so
It's a pretty small divergence.
Not true, but it is some divergence.
With a 70-mile diameter shadow. How do you get a 70-mile diameter shadow from the size of the moon with the rays only being parallel?
Well, we have an angle.
Well, now it's angled. There you go. That's my point. Now it's angled. What do you mean?
Now it's the size of the sun.
It's angled when you want it. It's parallel when you want it. You just make up shit. Yeah, exactly.
If you're trying to explain the shadow of the moon at an eclipse, you actually have to take the different sizes of the sun and the moon into account. I'm sorry, you have to do that.
When you want them freaking to be crooked at angles, they're angles and crooked.
Can you explain this picture? Those clouds are farther than the photographer from the sun. Why are they lit up when the photographer in both of these pictures is in darkness? Look, it's this picture right here.
It's an ionosphere.
No, this is not ionosphere. It's the round Earth. The round Earth is blocking where I am from getting the
But
sun.
you have parallel rays. You just told me that they're not always parallel. So why do you have just parallel rays right there?
Because for this problem, parallel rays is
Oh, for that problem, exactly my point. For that problem,
the way
you
to
want
think
use
about it.
parallel
The
rays.
sun is
The next
93 million
but the
miles
next
away.
problem you want
If I was explaining the shadow of an eclipse, you would have to be a little more detailed. That's how science is. You have to use different levels of detail for different problems.
No, that shouldn't be
It
how
doesn't
science
disprove
is.
anything.
Science should fit what you want to explain. It should-
You can't explain this picture. You cannot explain why those clouds are in bright sunlight, bright sunlight.
That explains the close personal sun better than the 93 million mile away from.
Why isn't the close personal sun lighting up the ground where the photographer is?
What do you mean? Because light ain't what you think it is. It's actually the perturbation in the medium.
What is blocking the sun?
What is light? It's light.
What is blocking the sun from this building, from this tree, from the
You want to
photographer,
talk
from
about
this?
light? Answer this.
What's blocking the
Is
sun?
light a particle or a wave? What is it?
Yes,
What is
light
it?
has particle
Is it-
and
is it
wave
a-
properties
you talking
depending on the
about light?
frequency.
Tell me, is light a particle or a
We're
wave?
not here to discuss quantum mechanics. That's a whole
You're telling me about the
different
fucking
thing.
physics of light, Dave, but then when I ask you about light, you don't want to explain it. Now you're getting me pissed off, Dave. Come on.
Okay, you're getting me pissed off because you're not explaining why the sun can shine on this cloud that's 100 miles away and 10 miles up. Why is the sun shining on that faraway cloud when it's not shining on me?
Is it a particle? Is it a wave? No, we don't understand.
You're changing
light.
the subject.
We don't understand.
Yes,
light. You're trying to explain.
We
light.
need to find the way
These
to
lights are waves. For this experiment, light's a wave. If we were talking about
And for that-
cosmic rays, real high energy, high frequency cosmic rays, then we would have to consider light as a particle. For this experiment, light is a wave.
Because for this you want to explain it one way, for this you want to explain it another way, and then this you're always right, but yet you contradict each other on one hand from the other hand. That's not science, Dave. That is not fucking science. Science is observable and repeatable,
Yeah.
not some little goddamn friggin' thing.
We're talking observable, repeatable here, and you're not
It's
explaining.
not science, man.
Look at the picture.
Those parallel lines, the angular width of the sun is about half a degree. So yeah, there is some angular width, but for all practical purposes, when we're talking about that diagram, they're effectively parallel. But the
Effective.
angular width, half a degree makes a difference when you're talking about the moon.
If we considered the actual width of the sun and made a really accurate diagram, the answer would still be the same.
You know,
Flat Earth wouldn't
an
work.
actual experiment that shows that, where you can take something and get a smaller shadow than the size of
the
this.
basic geometry.
Well, no, I don't want to talk about math. I want an actual
I'll
live
show you.
experiment that will show me a shadow being smaller than the object. Like I've gotten lights and I took this thing like right here, and you sit here and you go and you get a shadow. You will never get that shadow smaller than this object. No matter what you do with it.
You will
No
if
matter
you go
what you
farther
do with
away.
it. You will never.
If you have a big object,
You will to get that.
a big distributed light source, you will. A big
From one light
light
source,
source.
or what do you mean? So I gotta have a bunch of
And the
light.
farther you get away, you will get that effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I would like to see
Anyway,
this.
I don't think you can
I would like to see- I would
answer
like
this
to see that
question.
experiment. I would like to see that experiment.
I'm not convinced by your explanation of why this doesn't disprove a flat
If
earth.
we don't understand light as it is, the scientific community is all over the place on light. So you trying to sit there and show me some lights on some
You're-
clouds and tell you that.
You know, you're talking to a room full of scientists. Most of us are
what was the
physicists.
science
And you
say
don't
about
know
light?
beans about science.
Really? So what's is it a particle or is it a
You're
wave?
blowing it out, you know, one
Okay,
thing
can I
or
finish? I'm on my
another.
last slide.
What is light then?
We have centuries of science.
I'm on my last one. Let's, can we just proceed here? So, why should we accept flat Earth if the most common flat Earth models, the ones I asked you about, Voliva, if these are considered, the explanations fail, and they not just fail, they fail badly.
Because all that stuff you showed, you still ain't showed that the Earth is flat. You keep talking about the sky and the stars.
It's experiments that, and I explained why there are ways to test is the Earth round versus is it
Yeah, looking in the sky. The sky's not going to tell you what's under
and you were so busy
Dave,
screaming rebuttals,
you walk in
I'm
the
sure
store
you
and say,
didn't hear
wow, look,
much of
the
it.
carpet's friggin' Berber. Oh, wow, that's a hardwood floor right there. No. Oh, that's a pool. They got a pool over there. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. You sit there and say, okay, wow, this is flat and it's carpet. You don't say, oh, yeah, it's flat and carpet. No, you don't do that, Dave. You don't do that.
Anyway, I gave you several experiments that you can try, and if you actually approach them with an open mind, you can see for yourself that we live in a round planet. But at least the Voliva model of the flat Earth, the 3,000-mile sun going over the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, at least it's something that can be tested. But if your specific hypothesis is too vague or remains unstated, something like, we don't even know what light is, that's unstated. That's an unstated hypothesis. Then it's not even science. It doesn't merit consideration by science. To be science, you have to have an explanation which can be tested.
Observable and repeatable, exactly. So
Observable and repeatable.
From NASA and all that.
But it starts with the explanation.
So will you please
You don't have anything to observe until you have the explanation
you need to live
to observe.
yourself from one slide to the other. All right.
Anyway, Wolfgang Pauli, I think, said it pretty well. If your theory is so vague that it doesn't say what the theory is, then it's not science. It's as Pauli said, this is not right. This is not even wrong. So if you want to convince us the Earth is flat, you actually have to have a theory that we can test. And I'm sorry, the Voliva theory doesn't work. It doesn't fit the real world. We can do repeatable, observable measurements, and it doesn't work. Sorry.
No, you cannot prove curvature. Is what you can't do. You cannot prove that.
Donuts. We need to get them.
Donuts.
Let me ask a question.
Yeah.